Hey guys, this is Jan for Chess24. In this video I'm gonna do something a little different and look at an endgame played in the FIDE World Cup between Vladimir Kramnik and Kramnik-Bruzon. This was a very dramatic game for many reasons, and we're gonna enter events at move 74 after Black just played king to d7. Bruzon has been defending himself very well the whole game against some great preparation by Vladimir Kramnik, and he managed to reach the theoretically drawn Rook endgame with Rook and Bishop against Rook. Now this is a theoretical draw, but it's never that easy to defend. However, Black is already well set up for the second rank defense, which we see here with his Rook on the second rank and his king nearby. This tends to be a draw, and Bruzon, well, it is a draw, you just have to know what you're doing, and Bruzon held his ground quite easily all the way till move 113. This is the position after bishop c5. Kramnik forced him to switch his second rank defense to this file, but it's still the same situation and the position remains a draw. The easiest way to accomplish it is just to move this rook to b3 or b2. And to explain very briefly why the second rank defense is so effective, let's try the most natural move, why the move king c6, threatening rook a1 checkmate. And this is the one trick you have to know. Here Black goes rook b6 check, and if the rook is captured, it is stalemate and hence a draw. Therefore, White cannot really break this second rank defense if handled carefully. Here, for example, rook a1 just king b5, and White has made zero progress. But Bruzon was tired, as you tend to get after a 6-hour defense against a former world champion, and he played the natural looking move king to b7. But now White is just in time to break up the Black defense, and Kramnik plays a move rook to a1, which leads to a winning position, because now he's going to get in rook a7 check, followed by king to c6, and Black can no longer set up his desired defense along the second rank, be it the 7th file or the b file. However, as I mentioned, this is move 114, and there is such a thing as the 50 moves rule. That's why I showed you the initial position. It was after move 75. It took Kramnik a long time to maneuver, to get or to provoke this mistake. On move 113, it means he has to win the rook or mate until move 125, which is not easy even from this position. Actually, it's not possible even from this position after rook to a1. First, let's have a look at what Black's problem is. If he were to go king c8 now, trying to get in rook b7 once again, he's not quite in time, because White would break his defense by, for example, king c6. This is not the best way to defend. Rook b7, rook a8 check, rook b8, rook a7. Therefore, Bruzon played a different move. We're going to see how one wins these positions in a minute. Rook to b3, and Kramnik went rook a7 check. And Bruzon here probably realized he stumbled into a losing position, went for the move king to b8, and after king b8, the end came very smoothly. King to c6. Black can no longer avoid being checkmated. He went rook h3, rook to a1. This is one of the key tricks, threatening bishop d6 check, followed by rook a8, which you can't really stop. If you were to play rook to c3, pinning this bishop, then White just goes with his rook to, let's say, e1, threatening rook e8, checkmate. Nothing you can do about it. King a8, checkmate either way. And giving up the rook for the bishop, well, doesn't make a lot of sense, and we're only at move 118. So Bruzon went on to lose that game, which must have been heartbreak, and it's even more heartbreaking that I believe he could have still made a draw here with the move king to c8. Now this position is lost, but you can't win it quickly enough that Black can't claim a draw because of the 50 moves rule. The rule states if no piece is captured or pawn is moved within 50 moves, then you can claim a draw. And I just embarrassed myself doing a German video about this because I couldn't figure out how White wins here after king c8. So I had a look now, and it's extremely complicated. I'm sure Kramnik knows how to do it, but he still would not have reached the move the mate until move 125. It is really extremely difficult. Starts with a move rook to h7. The rook switches to the long side, let's call it. And black, well, has problems. The most resilient is the move rook d3 check, forcing the king to c6. Now we see that there are already some mating ideas. You can't move the king because of king d8, rook h8, or king b8, rook h8. But you can wait with the move rook to d2. This is more precise than rook to d1 for a very strange reason, but the rook is placed worse on d1 than on d2. So what white does here is make another waiting move, put black in zugzwang with rook to g7, rook f7 is also possible, forcing this move rook to move again. Has to stay on the d file, the king can't move as we just saw, so now you have to go rook to d1, and now white once again switches sides, goes rook to a7, rook to b1 is forced to parry the threat of rook a8 checkmate, bishop to a3. I'm having some doubts right now. I was thinking, I'll get to it in a second if I'm talking nonsense. I hope I'm not. Anyway, bishop a3 in this position is the correct move, which is extremely hard to find over the board if you don't know it. Once again, it's a zugzwang situation. Black is trying to get this rook to move away from b1, or the black king to move. White is trying. King d8 didn't work obviously because of rook a8 checkmate. So let's have a look at the move king to b8. When now once again the rook switches his position, goes to g7, and it turns out black is no longer coordinated enough to defend against the mating threats. King c8 was rook g8 checkmate. There's no longer rook d1 because and rook move gets punished with rook g8 check, king a7, bishop c5 check, king a6, rook to a8 with checkmate. So after rook g7, the most resilient is the move king to a8, but it's also not good enough. Rook g5, another move that I find not at all easy to spot, switching the attack to the what's called fifth rank and threatening rook a5 check, followed by bishop to d6, which cannot really be parried. However, even here you have to know some stuff. Rook b7, defending against rook a5, because then rook a7 is still possible. But a rook move along the fifth rank puts black in zugzwang. Rook e5, there's nothing you can do. If you go rook a7, rook a8 is checkmate. If you move the rook along the b file, let's say here, rook a5, king b8, bishop d6 is checkmate. Well, it's not checkmate, king c8, rook to a8. But for example, this position, in my line, we did reach move 126 already, so black could have claimed a draw already a move ago, or to add some insult to injury, he could play the move rook to b8, or more correctly, write it down on his score sheet, call the arbiter, say I'm planning to play the move rook b8, and claim a draw because of the 50 moves rule. And I hope I did not miscount, but I don't think I did, and that would still have allowed Bruzon to draw this game against Vladimir Kramnik because of this very particular 50 moves rule. But yeah, the one thing I thought was really difficult is all these zugzwang positions here. Because I know this is a winning position, but without having had a look just now, I'm not sure I would figure this out over the board. You have to go rook g7, so the rook has to go here, then you go rook a7, threatening checkmate, the rook has to go here, and now the very tough move bishop to a3, and there is no defense, because the other line that is possible here is the move rook to b3, when, one second, when now black goes bishop, white goes bishop d6, rook c3 check, bishop c5, and the big difference is, even looking at it now, I have trouble explaining this. With the rook on the third rank, it has to go to b3 to cover the threat of rook a8 checkmate, rook c7 check, king to d8. Now white goes rook f7, and imagine the rook was still on b1, then rook e1 would defend against the mate, but it is on b3, so black cannot go rook to e3 because, well, he can't do it. The rook would be captured, and that's why he needed all this drama with bishop to a3. Long story short, this is all extremely complicated. I'm not quite sure I would figure it out over the board, but it is heartbreak for Kramnik-Bruzon because in all these lines he would get mated, but he would not get mated in time. This position once again, rook f7, this is move 123, king a8, rook f4 is forced to once again attack on this fourth rank. Rook b7, rook a4 check, and mate is coming, king b8, bishop d6. But we are past move 125, and Bruzon could have survived here. I hope I did not miscount, and I hope this was informative for you guys. I can't claim I really understand, there's no secret. I'm not a big endgame genius, but what a heartbreaking story for Kramnik-Bruzon after a great defense. First he went astray with king to b7, allowing white a technically winning position, but not a winning position given that he only had 12 moves to checkmate from here. And then he collapsed with king to b8 when king to c8 instead would have allowed him to set up a lot tougher defense, which would have carried him all the way to move 125 and to the claimed draw. Please point out if I made any mistakes here or if this is not true, but I could not find any quicker ways. Thank you guys for watching, and my apologies to, or my condolences to Kramnik-Bruzon for this heartbreaking loss after a very well played game. Thanks for watching.